Many parents wonder how much attention they should give to their children's Facebook pages. What's being a good parent and what crosses that line into invasion of privacy?
Joining us with the answers to these questions is Michael Stevens. He's a clinical director at the Center Counseling. Michael, thank you so much for joining us this afternoon.
Good to be here.
So, look, we're talking Facebook, we're talking our kids. What do mom and dad need to know about these social media sites like Facebook, Twitter, and where kids can just gather and have at it?
I would say the first thing that they need to know is that they need to be a part of those avenues for social media. And being a part of it is going to help the parents know a little bit more about their children, and also helps them kind of monitor activity and be a part of their lives also. In a way, you know, I mean, kids aren't the most social with their parents, and so it kind of helps the parents have a little better idea what's going on, how to connect with their adolescent children.
And I would think another reason to be aware of, there are dangers that kids can fall into. What are some of those dangers people need to be aware of?
Well, probably more that most of us have to deal with is who their friends are, who they're connecting with, what they're doing in their time that the parents don't really know. And I think that's a valuable information for those children. And then also for a child that is unable to protect themselves and have the wherewithal or the insight into knowing who to talk to, who not to talk to. I think that the parent that is involved will know and be a part of that, so they can help protect a young child who is might be skating on thin ice.
What if the mom and dad are receiving a little bit of resistance from the child, or maybe a whole lot of resistance from the child, with the child saying, this is my life, who I talk to is my business, not yours, basically stay out of my life? How do you approach that?
Well, I approach it with the phrase with the parents, and it goes, and the children too, or the adolescents. If you have nothing to hide, then hide nothing. And so so the parents need to get involved, and I always tell the adolescents that they need to allow the parents in, and if not, then the parents will probably take control and probably limit some of those activities if they're not allowed to have passwords or to have access to those social medias.
So parents should have all of their children's passwords then?
I believe so.
Okay.
Yeah.
And maybe one of those kind of relationship where we could check in on you at any time?
Yep.
So.
And that allows the children to be more transparent in their communications with their friends and also with their parents. And it just kind of puts everything on an equal playing field.
Okay.
Just kind of settles the score right there.
Is there anything that crosses the line when you are dealing with your children and their social media?
You know, I believe the parents that go and post, I did this once on my boys' Facebook. It was great to beat my son in basketball last night. You know, so I think there's sometimes when you can go overboard, and then there's times when you can post things on your kid's Facebook and have some good parental or child fun. I think that can be good. But you know, if we're involved, then I think we know what our children are doing and the struggles they may be dealing with. But thinking back to the Columbine days in Colorado, those were parents. It's my understanding those were parents that weren't involved, and that if they would have been involved in the social media, they would have found out what was going on, and would have averted a travesty. So, yeah. So if you're concerned about changes in your child's behavior, as far as maybe who their friends are changing to, or attitudes at home, that piques a parent's interest, and that's when I get
some
more
withdrawing or isolation.
Yeah, isolation too.
So we need to make sure we're paying attention then.
Yeah.
Very good.
All right.
Thank you so much for coming in. This is really important information.